The new Footjoy Tour Alpha is Footjoy's latest iteration of their premium, performance-focused spiked golf shoes, and it takes over from the Tour X. Now, in most areas, the Tour Alpha has made a lot of improvements, but in one specific area, I think actually I preferred the Tour X. So in this video today, I'm gonna run through all of the updates with the Tour Alpha. I'm gonna let you know what it's like to wear and how it performs out on the golf course. As always, I've included any exclusive discount codes that I've currently got down in the description below, so you can pick these up for less than recommended retail price, which in the UK is £170. With the previous Tour X, Footjoy were utilising this area here called the power strap to give you that lockdown feeling across the outside and inside of your midfoot. They were utilising this TPU outsole, and also you can see here that the spikes were really quite spread out across the sole of the shoe. Taking a look at the Tour Alpha, you can see that they've done away with that power strap technology. Instead, what you've got here is just a little kind of lacing loop, but you've probably already noticed what they've added, and that's this significant section at the heel here. Now, this is made up of 3 different elements, and it's called their optimized performance stabilizer. Catchy name. The first element is this 3D molded heel counter that you can see is pretty significant on the shoe, and it wraps all the way round. So the idea of that is that it's really trying to lock in your heel, and I've got to admit that you do get a good locked in sensation. Secondly, you've got a dual Durometer midsole. Now that's just a fancy way of saying that you've got 2 different midsole materials that have got different softnesses. So at the heel here, where you've got these grey areas on this shoe, these bits are a little bit firmer, again, ideally to help you lock in the heel of your shoe, whereas these white areas at the front, these are much softer, designed to give you comfort while out walking the course. And then lastly, the actual TPU outsole of the shoe comes up at the rear of the heel there, so you can see you've got this A shape there, and again, you've got it on the inside of the shoe there. So again, that's there to help with the stability, try to lock in that heel as much as it can, and try to avoid your shoe kind of twisting and rolling out at the heel. When you combine all this technology in the heel with the layout of this outsole here, so you can see that you've got 8 spikes there, and then you've got a 9th at the front, and these spikes on the outside are really pushed right to the edges of the shoe. In fact, when you look top down there, you can kind of see them sticking out from the sides of the shoe a little bit. When you combine all of those things, then actually you get a seriously stable golf shoe. In terms of grip and traction, because you've got those 9 spikes on the shoe, as well as all these kind of little spikes there, which are actually pretty aggressive on the shoe, dotted right along the outsole, you are getting really premium traction from the shoe, so you're not going to have any worries in regards to slipping in these shoes no matter the conditions. When I'm playing golf, if I'm going to slip, generally it's my rear foot and it will slip away at this toe area. So for me, having this spike right at the front really gives me good confidence that I'm just not going to slip in these shoes. Now, I appreciate that's down to my bad swing and my swing faults, but hey, I can't be the only one coming over the top, early extending and putting too much pressure on that rear toe. It's not just me, is it, guys? With all this focus on stability and performance, you might be worried about the actual comfort of the shoe. What's it like underfoot? Well, I'm pleased to say that it is actually a lot softer than you might think. Firstly, as I mentioned earlier, you have got this dual Durometer midsole, so you have got a lot more soft cushioning at the front of the shoe here compared to the rear. What also helps is the fact that you have got this ultra light impressions insole, and again, that's got a fairly good amount of thickness to it there, and as you can see, it's not glued down. Now, I wore these straight out of the box and I didn't get any issues with blisters whatsoever. I found them perfectly comfortable and they fit my feet fine. You're getting an okay amount of padding in this. They're not overly padded, but equally there's certainly more padding in other shoes out on the market today. And again, with the tongue, it's adequately padded. It's not particularly thick, it's not particularly soft, but it certainly did the job and didn't give me any problems out on the course. Footjoy are using the Pitard's chrome soft leather on the upper of the shoe. Now that's the same leather that they've been using on the Footjoy Pro SL for absolutely years now, so you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a leather that kind of breaks down quite nice and soft, and over time is just generally gonna be like wearing a pair of slippers. But of course, because it is that natural leather, there is going to be elements of creasing. You can see across the toe box here, I'm starting to get that already. You are getting a 1 year's waterproof warranty with these shoes. Now, I did do my full waterproof test, so I poured 300 millilitres of water right across the upper of the shoe, including across the tongue as well. And as you can see here, yes, of course, that upper is waterproof because it's natural leather. However, some water did creep through the edges of the tongue there. So if you are playing in seriously wet conditions and you're looking for your ball in the rough, then actually, because there's no membrane on the side of that tongue area there, your foot might just get a little bit wet. In terms of sizing, for me, I go down half a size with Footjoys. I did this as well, so normally I'm a 9 and I went down to a UK 8.5 and I didn't have any problems in terms of the sizing. I found that was perfect for me, but you do want to check that yourself because some people do prefer that extra bit of width if they go true to size with the Footjoys. However, you might risk then kind of slipping a little bit at the hill. However, I did say that for me, there was one area that I actually preferred the previous Tour X, and for me, that's the looks. In my opinion, the general styling of the shoe, combined with this quite chunky looking heel counter at the back, means that this is a pretty big, thick looking shoe. When you compare that to the previous version of the Tour X, I'd say that this definitely had a more athletic, kind of stealthy, sporty look, and was at the time Footjoy's best efforts when it comes to performance golf shoes. So there's nothing wrong really with this shoe. The Tour Alpha has definitely got a little bit more comfort to it as well as stability with its designs, but come on, look, between the two, I just think the Tour X just looks a lot better. And even on that cool outsole, I mean, the Tour X just looks so much better than the Alpha. I don't know, who's with me on that one? In this lace version, there are 3 launch colorways that you can choose from. Personally, I think this one looks okay in the white and gray, but actually, I probably do prefer the other 2 colorways. I think this is a little bit too muted for my liking. Now, there is a single boa version available using Footjoy's Wrap ID system that's currently available for £195. Or if you feel like one boa isn't enough, they actually do a version with 2 separate boa units that retails for a whopping £205. Now, personally, I just never really understood the need for 2 separate boas on a shoe. Just kind of felt overkill. I don't know, maybe Footjoy will send me a pair, maybe I'll buy a pair to test out. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to try out those boa pairs. Smash that like button if you found this video helpful, and if you're interested in performance golf shoes, then why not check out my closer look at the Nike Infinity Tour Next% golf shoes, which I've included right here.